Welcome to our channel. This is your Das Master. Today I am going to explain about globe, the model of the earth. Chapter 2 for 6th class students, both in English as well as in Telugu. We are going to know about the complete lesson about globe, the true model of the earth. A globe, the model of the earth. In this lesson, we are going to know about all these things. Globe, latitudes, longitudes, land and water, northern hemisphere, 0 degrees to 90 degrees north, southern hemisphere, 0 degrees to 90 degrees south, western hemisphere, 0 degrees to 180 degrees west, eastern hemisphere, 180 degrees to 0 degrees to 180 degrees east. Land and water, continents and oceans. Earth. The movements of the earth. The earth has two important movements: rotation and revolution. Rotation gives day and nights. Revolution gives seasons, eclipses, solstices, equinoxes. In this part, we are going to know all these things. If you observe the world map, we can see one side the Pacific Ocean, the another side also we can see the Pacific Ocean. All the continents as well as the countries, oceans, seas, everything we can see in this particular map. You will observe the same ocean on the both side of the map. It is the Pacific Ocean. When you fold the map world, the two parts of the oceans come together. Thus, we can say that the earth is round in shape. It has been provided by the ancient navigators during the 15th century, and it is very much clear by satellite images. So, the globe is a true model of the earth. In the previous chapter, you have read that our planet Earth is not a complete sphere. It is slightly flattened at the north and the south poles and bulges in the middle. Can you imagine how it look like? You may look at a globe carefully in your classroom to get an idea. The globe is not static. It rotates as a top, toy, or a potter's wheel. On a globe, countries, continents, oceans are shown in proportionate size. Axis of the earth. You notice that a needle is fixed through the globe in a tilted manner, which is called its axis. 2 points on the globe through which the needle passes are two poles, the North Pole and the South Pole. The globe moves around this needle from west to east just as the earth moves in the solar system. But remember, there is a major difference. The real earth has no such needle. Earth's rotational axis is an imaginary straight line which runs through the north and south poles. Do you know the oldest terrestrial globe was made in the year 1492 by Martin Behyam? Another remarkably modern looking terrestrial globe of the earth was constructed by Taqi al-Din of the Constantinople Observatory during the 1570s. The world's first seamless celestial globe was built by Mughal scientists under the patronage during the Mughal Empire. The word globe comes from the Latin word globus, meaning sphere. Here, if we observe an apple, axis North Pole, South Pole, model of a globe we can see here. Another thing, if you observe northern and southern hemispheres, the imaginary lines running horizontally on the middle of the globe divides it into two equal halves. This line is known as the equator, 0 degrees latitude. The half that lies north of the equator is known as the northern hemisphere, and the half that lies south of the equator is known as the southern hemisphere. Here, some of the important questions given here to observe. In which hemisphere is India located? Which hemisphere has maximum number of continents? In which hemisphere the continent Antarctica located? With the help of the globe or world map or atlas, we can complete this table here. Latitudes. If we observe the globe closely, as you can see some lines drawn parallel to the equator, these lines are latitudes. They are parallel to each other and never meet. Latitudes range from 0 degrees to 90 degrees to the north and 0 degrees to 90 degrees to the south of the equator. The 90 degrees latitude on the north is called the North Pole, and the 90 degrees latitude on the south is called the South Pole. There are 90 latitudes in the north and 90 latitudes in the south. All the latitudes are circles except poles. The North Pole, the Arctic Circle, and the Tropic of Cancer are the important latitudes in the northern hemisphere. On the other hand, the South Pole, the Antarctic Circle, and the Tropic of Capricorn are the important latitudes in the southern hemisphere. The climatic division of the Earth can be studied with the help of latitudes. Fill the table with the help of a globe or a map. North Pole, Arctic Circle, Tropic of Cancer, Equator, Tropic of Capricorn, Antarctic Circle, South Pole. If you observe the important latitudes in this picture, North Pole 90 degrees north, Arctic Circle 66 of degrees north, Tropic of Cancer 23 and half degrees north, Equator 0 degrees, Tropic of Capricorn 23 and half degrees south, Antarctic Circle 66 and half degrees south, South Pole 90 degrees south. Now we are going to know about the longitudes. We see certain lines drawn perpendicular to the latitudes on the globe. These lines connect the north and south poles. They are called longitudes. Longitudes are called meridians. 0 degree longitude is called prime meridian or Greenwich. The line seen opposite to it is called the international date line and found at 180 degrees longitude. Based on these two lines, the earth is divided into two hemispheres. The one on the eastern side of the Greenwich is known as Eastern Hemisphere and the other as Western Hemisphere. If you observe the longitudes in the picture, prime meridian, Eastern Hemisphere, Western Hemisphere, we can see in this longitudinal picture. Do you know the imaginary semicircle lines that join the north and south poles are called longitudes? Longitude is related to the Latin word longitudo, meaning length or long duration. Longitudes from the Greenwich to the international date line. In the eastern, 0 degrees to 180 degrees are known as eastern longitudes, and those from the Greenwich too. The international dateline in the western 0 degrees to 180 degrees west are known as western longitudes. In fact, 180 degrees east and 180 degrees west longitudes are same as 180 degrees, which is called international dateline. There are 180 longitudes in the east and 180 longitudes in the west, and in total there are 360 longitudes, including Greenwich. Calculating the exact location, time, and climate of that place can be done with the help of latitudes and longitudes. This can be studied in detail in our next classes. The differences between the longitudes and latitudes. If we observe here the facts about the latitude, latitudes are parallel to each other and never met. Latitudes help to measure the distances located towards the north or the south from the equator. Latitudes are invisible horizontal lines that run parallel to the equator. And now, the facts about the longitudes. Longitudes are known as meridians. Longitudes measures the distance of east or west of the prime meridian. Longitudes are equal in length. Longitudes are farthest at the equator and meet at the poles. Longitudes are invisible vertical lines that run north-south direction. Movements of the earth. There are many celestial bodies in the universe, such as stars, planets, satellites. The earth is one of the planets among them. Planets rotate themselves while revolving around the sun. The earth basically has two movements. They are rotation and revolution. Earth moves on its own axis in west to east direction at a speed of 1610 kilometers per hour. This movement is called rotation. Day and nights are caused due to the Earth's rotation. During the rotation, that while the Earth moves on its own axis, only half of the portion of it receives sun's rays, and therefore it appears bright. The other half remains in the darkness. It means that half portion of the earth hit by sun's rays has day. Day and nights are caused due to the earth's rotation. During rotation, while the earth moves on its own axis, only half of the portion of it receives sun's rays, and therefore it appears bright. The other half remains in darkness. It remains that half portion of the earth hit by the sun's rays has day, while the remaining portion has night. In the process of earth rotation, the portion hit by the sun's rays gradually goes into light, and the light portion gradually goes into dark. That is why day and nights occur alternately. It takes 23 hours, 56 minutes, and 4.09 seconds, about 24 hours. That is one day to complete one rotation. The Earth, while moving on its own axis, also moves around the Sun. This movement is called revolution. The fixed and regular path through which the Earth revolves around the Sun is called orbit. The orbit is elliptical in shape. The length of the Earth's orbit is 965 million kilometers. Earth takes 1 year to complete one revolution. It takes 365 1 by 4 days. Usually, a year consists of 365 days only. The remaining one fourth of the day is added once in 4 years, and that year is known as leap year. Hence, a leap year consists of 366 days. In a leap year, we have 29 days in the month of February, but in normal year, we have 28 days in February. The revolution of the earth and seasons. If you observe this picture, you can clearly understand how the seasons are formed. Equinoxes, 21st March, and equinoxes, 23rd September. Summer in the northern hemisphere, summer solstices, 21st June. Winter in the southern hemisphere. Winter in the northern hemisphere, winter solstices, 22nd December. Summer in the southern hemisphere. If we observe the picture, how the seasons formed due to the revolution of the earth. From the figure 2.8, it is clear that the earth is moving around the sun in an elliptical orbit. Throughout its orbit, the earth is inclined in the same direction. A year is usually divided into summer season, winter season, spring season, and autumn season. Seasons changes due to the change in the position of the earth around the sun. Look at the figure 2.8. You will see that on 21st June, the northern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun. The rays of the sun fall directly on the Tropic of Cancer. As a result, these areas receives more heat. The areas near the poles receives less heat as the rays of the sun are slanting. The North Pole is inclined towards the sun, and the places beyond the Arctic Circle experiences continuous daylight for about 6 months. Since a large portion of the northern hemisphere receives light from the sun, it is summer in the regions north of the equator. The longest day and shortest night at these places occur on 21st June in the southern hemisphere. All these conditions are reversed. It is winter season there. The nights are longer than the days. This position of the earth is called the summer solstice. On 22nd December, the Tropic of Capricorn receives direct rays of the sun as the South Pole tilts towards it. As the sun's rays fall vertically at the Tropic of Capricorn, a large portion of the southern hemisphere gets light. Therefore, it is summer in the southern hemisphere with longer days and the shorter nights. The reverse happen in the northern hemisphere. This position of the earth is called the winter solstice. Equinox. On 21st March and 23rd September, direct rays of the sun falls on the equator and the whole earth experiences equal day and nights. This is called an equinox. On 23rd September, it is autumn season in the northern hemisphere and spring season in the southern hemisphere. The opposite in the case of 21st March, when it is spring in the northern hemisphere and the autumn in the southern hemisphere. Thus, you find days and nights and changes in the seasons occur because of the rotation and revolution of the earth. Eclipses. We have learned that the earth revolves round the sun and the moon revolves round the earth. While they so revolves, at time it happens that they come in a straight line. Then either solar eclipse or lunar eclipse occurs. During the time of eclipses, appears that a shadow it casts either on the sun or on the moon. There are two types. Solar eclipse occurs when the moon passes in a direct line between the earth and the sun. The moon's shadow travels over the earth's surface and blocks out the sun's light. As seen from the earth, solar eclipse occurs only on new moon days, but not on all new moon days. Lunar eclipse. At any given time, only half of the earth faces the sun. The other half will be towards the shadow and is thus in darkness. A lunar eclipse occurs when the moon passes directly behind the earth and into its shadow. This can occur only when the sun, earth, and the moon are exactly very closely aligned with the Earth between the other two. During the lunar eclipse, Earth completely blocks direct sunlight from reaching the moon. Lunar eclipse occurs only a full moon day, but lunar eclipse does not occur on all the full moon days. You can have a detailed study of the eclipses from your science textbook of class 6 about the eclipses. These are the important points to remember everyone in the 6th class. This is also useful for the other competitive exams for the other people also. So, if anyone watching this channel, please kindly remember this thing. You should practice and learn through this material. As well as everyone, you should support my channel, like it, and share it. All the people watching our videos, but they are not liking the videos. If you give a like, the video will be shared to so many people. I am requesting all of you, please like my videos and share it to the others. Now we are going to know about the glossary of the this lesson. Axis. It is called in Telugu Akshamam, an imaginary line about which a body rotates. Equator. Bhumadhya Rekha, 0 degrees latitude. Tropic of Cancer, Karkataka Rekha, 23.5 degrees northern latitude. Tropic of Capricorn, Makara Rekha, 23.5 degrees southern latitude. Arctic Circle, Arctic Valayamu, 66 1 by 2 degrees northern latitude. Antarctic Circle, Antarctic Valayam, 66.5 degrees southern latitude. North Pole, 90 degrees northernmost part of the earth. South Pole, Dakshina Dhruvam, 90 degrees southernmost part of the earth. Meridians, Madhyanapu Rekalu, longitudes connecting North and South Pole and source midday. Greenwich or prime meridian, Greenwich or Pramanika Rakamsam, 0 degree longitude. International dateline, 180 degrees east and west. Antarjatiya Dinareka. Longitudes, Akshamsamalu, imaginary lines that runs parallel to the equator. Longitudes, longitudes, Rakamsamalu, imaginary lines that runs between the North Pole and South Pole. Northern Hemisphere, Uttarardhagolam, the half of the earth that lies north of the equator. Southern Hemisphere, Dakshinardhagolam, the half of the earth that lies south of the equator. Eastern Hemisphere, Turpu Ardhagolam, half of the earth that lies east on the of the prime meridian. Western Hemisphere, Pachamardhagolam, half of the earth that lies western side of the prime meridian. Seasons, Rituvulu. Seasons are divisions of the year and define the changes in the weather. Solar eclipse, Surya Grahanam, occurs when the moon passes between the sun and the earth on the one line. Lunar eclipse, Chandragrahanam, occurs when the earth moves between the sun and the moon on line. These are the important points everyone you should remember, useful for all your examinations. Once again, I am reminding you, all of you, please like my channel, subscribe my channel, and share it to the others. Thank you very much, all of you. We will meet in the next video. Thank you. Have you ever seen the world map? Name the ocean located on the left side in the given world map. Name the ocean located on the right side in the given world map. If you observe the world map, Pacific Ocean we can see on the left side, as well as the Pacific Ocean we can see on the right side. You will observe the same ocean on the both sides of the map. It is the Pacific Ocean. When you fold the world map, the two parts came together to one place. Thus, we can say that the earth is round in shape. It has been provided by the ancient navigators during the 15th century, and it is a very much clear by the satellite images. So, the globe is a true model of the earth. In the previous chapter, we have read that our planet Earth is not a complete sphere. It is slightly flattened at the north and the south poles and bulges in the middle. Can you imagine how it look like? You may look at a globe carefully in your classroom to get an idea. The globe is not static, it rotates as a top toy or a potter's wheel. On a globe, countries, continents, and oceans are shown in a proportionate size. Axis of the earth. You notice that a needle is fixed through the globe in a tilted manner, which is called its axis. 2 points on the globe through which the needle passes are two poles, the North Pole and the South Pole. The globe moves around this needle from west to east just as the earth moves. But remember, there is a major difference. The real earth has no such needles. Earth's rotational axis is an imaginary straight line which runs through the north and south pole. Do you know the oldest terrestrial globe was made in 1492 by Martin Behyam? Another remarkably modern looking terrestrial globe of the earth was constructed by the Taki al-Din at the Constantinople Observatory during the 1570s. The world's first seamless celestial globe was built by Mughal scientists under the patronage during Mughal Empire. The word globe comes from the Latin word globus, meaning sphere. The northern and southern hemispheres. The imaginary lines running horizontally on the middle of the globe divides it into two equal halves. This line is known as the equator, 0 degrees latitude. The half that lies north of the equator is known as the northern hemisphere, and the half that lies south of the equator is known as the southern hemisphere. Here, some of the questions we have to learn. In which hemisphere is India located? Which hemisphere has the maximum number of continents? In which hemisphere is the continent Antarctica located? Complete the table with the help of world map, globe, or atlas in your classroom.